Hello, I'm glad to have you here today again. It's the second day of the week, and I hope that you're having a great time at work, at school, and wherever you are. Today, I'm going to be dealing with the topic, when am I ready to date? My name is Comfort Michael. Parents especially ask this question every time: when is my child ready to date? And a lot of teenagers especially are so eager to date, and so the question begs, when am I ready to date? When are my children ready to date? If you are a single person listening, if you are a teenager listening, you are going to receive answers to these questions today. I'd like you to know that dating per se is not really basically about the age, though the Bible says there is a time for everything, and I believe strongly that it can be really too early for someone to date, but we have to answer a very critical question today, which has to do with when am I ready to date? And talking about when am I ready to date, it has to do more with the maturity of the person and the upbringing of the person who is ready to date. You see people mature at very different levels, and I would like you to understand that girls mature earlier and faster, than the boys. So a girl who is, for example, my daughter is 6 years old and my son is 8 years old, and sometimes it really seems like she's thinking way above him as a person, and so it happens that way. And so if a girl is 10 years and she's matured, she could think at the same level with a guy who is 13 years old, and so that is how it falls. And so it has to do with maturity of the person who wants to date, and then the upbringing, the experience, the environment. If you grew up in a home where your parents, you had a good relationship, your parents had a good relationship, had a good marriage, then you grew, you were able to grow, mature emotionally, and otherwise faster than someone who grew in an environment where there's chaos, there's a lot of fighting and a lot of things. So there are a lot of there are foundational things that has to do with when a child should date. Personally, I believe that a teenager shouldn't date until they are 18 years old. That is my opinion. The simple reason is because I feel that a child who is in secondary school should have no distraction apart from the book, and most people don't get into the university until they are 18 years old, and then I see that, you're ready to date at that age. But it's possible to be 18 years old and not be matured enough, or not have the experience and the upbringing and the environment to be able to handle the situations of dating. And so I'll deal with a few points today that will help you know whether you're ready to date, or whether you need to give yourself some time to date. And the first thing I'll talk about today, I'll talk about the foundational principles, of dating. When you should start dating. And number one, you are ready to date when you understand that dating comes not just with benefits, not just with advantages, but it also comes with dangers. It also comes with roadblocks. It also comes with its own challenges. And so you must understand the benefits, the dangers of dating. What are the benefits of dating? For example, you are getting to meet someone new, you're building friendship with someone new, and so that is a good thing. You are getting to you get also to develop your communication skills, your relationship skills, which is very important. So you are getting to meet someone new, you are getting to develop your relationship, your communication skills, you are getting to develop your relationship skills with other people. And so these are some of the benefits of getting into of dating. So you must understand, before to know whether you're ready for marriage, for dating, you must understand the benefits of dating, which are getting to know someone new, getting to build your relationship skills and then your communication skills with other people. And so what are the dangers of dating? The dangers of dating is such that you could be emotionally and physically attached to this person so early. So you meet someone today, and just by talking to the person, you just feel, oh, this person is meant for me. You've not known all that you should know about this person, but because there's that connection, you got to know this person. If not, you take it to a deeper level, emotionally and physically, even before it is time, to do that. And so this is the major danger of dating. And so, number one, you must understand the benefits and the dangers of dating, and so that you can know how to enjoy the benefits and then escape the dangers of dating. Then number two principle that will help you know whether you're ready to date or not is the fact that you must understand God's standard. There is a standard God has set for dating. There is a standard God has set for dating, and dating is about meeting somebody, coming together, two people coming together to know each other better, to see if a relationship can birth from, such meeting and then eventually marriage. So you must understand that God has a standard for dating, and then understanding God's standard for dating will help you to set boundaries, will give you guidelines, help you set guidelines that will help you run your relationship, your dating relationship, without getting into trouble with the Lord. And so you must understand God's standard. With that, you must understand God's standard of holiness. You must understand God's standard that you cannot date somebody who is not equally yoked as you are. You cannot date somebody outside your faith, outside your belief. You cannot date somebody who does not have regard for God. You cannot date somebody who does not have regard, for the things of God. So you must understand God's standards of dating. And another standard God has for dating is that your body is the temple of the Lord. Your body is the temple of the Lord. You cannot have a sexual relationship with each other until you eventually get married. So you must understand this key standard that God has for us in a dating relationship. So you must understand that it is very, very key you understand it, so that you do not fall into trouble. And so that is number two of knowing when you are ready to date. Of knowing when you are ready to date. And then number three, you must make up your mind not to compromise. You have known God's standards, then you must make up your mind not to compromise about these standards, about yourself. You must make up your mind you will not compromise. Nothing will make you break not the emotions you feel. You will not compromise because of the emotions that you feel. And so it is very, very key that you make up your mind that you will do things God's way. You will do things God's way. And number four, you are ready to date. Number four, you are ready to date when you don't feel the need to date. So getting into the university, I told myself I wasn't going to date until I was in my final year. And I made those decisions for very, very good reasons, such as purity and the rest of that. And then there are times where I saw my classmates, there are times where I saw my friends, going out on a date with their boyfriends, and the guys going out with their girlfriend. And I really felt, at those points, sometimes I really felt, oh, I should be with someone, So at that point, I realized that if I was going to be with someone, I was going to be with someone because other people were with someone. That was the norm around there, to be attached to somebody. But you see, it's very important that you come to a place where you are dating just because you feel, oh, now you are ready to date, not because you need to date. Because so a lot of teens and singles today are getting into dating relationship, and are falling into sin because other people are doing it, because it's the norm, because they'll be laughed at. So you have to get to a place where you are doing it for yourself, because it is time for you. not because you cannot do without it, not because it's the norm. So you must get to that place where you know that it is the time for you to date. And then finally, you are ready to date when you have learned to be alone. You are ready to date when you have learned to be alone. When you have learned to be alone. You see, singleness is a blessing. I tell single people every time, you have to use your time. You have to use your time well to serve the Lord. Paul said it. He said it is better for you to be single, so that you can serve the Lord well. As a married person, I have to serve the Lord. I have to take care of my children. I have to take care of my husband. I have to attend to other issues. So my time is divided between my family, between God, and my career and other things. So, but as a single, you have all the time to pray. You have all the time to read your Bible. You have all the time without any disturbances, any distractions, to do the things. So you have to learn to be alone. You have to learn to appreciate who you are. You see God speaking in the Bible. He talks about the Bible said we should love ourselves, love the Lord our God with all our heart, and then he said we should love our neighbor, as we love ourselves. So you have to come to a place where you give God your service. You love God. You pour your love on God. In pouring your love on God, He's going to help you find someone who is suitable for you. You must love the Lord. You must spend time serving the Lord as a single. You must not rush into a relationship. So you are ready to date when you have learned to be alone. You are ready to date when you have learned to be alone and be happy and be fulfilled. It's a time when you find yourself. Singleness is a time, being alone is a time when you find yourself. Right now my kids have gone to school and I'm alone, making this video, studying, reading my books, praying, so it's a time of productivity. Being alone is a time of productivity. But when there's a crowd, when they are back from school now, there's a whole lot I cannot do because I have to attend to them, and a whole lot of other things, so you're ready to date when you have developed, when you have learned to be alone, so love the Lord, build your faith in God so strong nothing can shake it, stand strong. So it is very, very important. So I talked about 5 keys, 5 fundamental principles that will let you know whether you're ready to date or not. Number 1, I told you that you must understand the benefits and the dangers of dating. You must understand the benefits and the dangers of dating. Number 2, you must understand God's standard for dating to show that you are ready to date. To date, you must understand God's standards for a relationship, for dating. Number 3, you must not compromise. Do not compromise. Don't let anyone make you compromise who you are. What you are. You must find yourself. Don't let anybody let you compromise the person that you are. And then number 4, I say that you are ready to date when you don't feel the need to date. When you don't feel like, oh, I have to date because other people are dating. No, you are ready to date when you date because, oh, it is time for me to date. And then number 5, you are ready to date when you have learned to be alone. Being alone is a good thing. You can become productive in that season. Being alone is a good thing. So don't rush into attaching yourself to somebody, filling your space with somebody else. So these are the few things, 5 foundational principles that will help you understand whether you're ready to date or not. But I always advise teenagers and single people, do not date in secondary school. The purpose of dating basically is towards marriage, finding that one who you get into courtship with and then you get married to. Getting into a relationship too early is we give you a challenge with staying sexually pure, because as you are bonding with this person emotionally, physically, and emotionally, it is tempting. You could become emotionally, physically bound to them. So it's a breeding ground for temptation for the devil. So please be patient, face your studies, do the things you need to do, face your God, give time to your God, give time to your studies, pay attention, serve your parents. It's very important, serve your parents. And then when you get into university, you can begin to think or get into a dating relationship. Do not date because other people are dating. I hope that this video has transformed your life today and has empowered you to help your child if you are a parent. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button. You can go further to click the bell button so that you can always get our video upload whenever we upload. Get it into your inbox and then you watch whenever you have time to watch. Please share the video also. I pray that you have a wonderful week ahead. God bless you.